this computer. There we go. Right. Hi guys. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is well. I feel like it's been a while since we've been back in the groove with our team trainings, and hopefully now every 2 weeks you shall see me, and then the 2 weeks after that I'm hoping that you're going to see someone else from in the squad, or a director, or somebody else, basically, rather than just me all the time, because I think it's really important for you to see other people. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I decided I was doing a training, and then I was like, oh, what am I going to train on? And I was feeling not uninspired, but I knew what I wanted to say, but I just didn't really know how I wanted to say it. So today I have spent about 3 hours planning this training, which I'm not going to lie, this is probably the longest time I've ever spent actually really sort of getting into the nitty-gritty of what I wanted to say. But I feel like it's a really good time right now to talk about some E-words, okay? And actually, Ellis, my eldest son, helped me come up with this, and he was really pleased with himself because English isn't his strong point, and he helped me come up with the title. So tonight's title is Evaluate, Exchange, Evolve, then Get Excited all over again. So that's what tonight's going to be all about. It's going to be about, we're going to look at evaluating where we are right now, making some changes, which are called exchanges, and then we're going to be hopefully evolving with the times. And last week I talked to you guys about this new normal that we're in, and I did like this huge thing on mindset and in the squad. And actually, I know that there were so many of you that messaged me after and said, Lise, that has given me the kick up the bum that I needed. That really set the fire alight in me. And I was like, amazing, that's what I wanted. So this is a little bit of a part 2 to what I started with. And then hopefully I'm going to hopefully leave at least one of you feeling a little bit inspired at the end of this. And as we go along, if there's anything that's resonating with you, or anything that you feel like actually you don't agree with, put it in the chat. I want to see your comments. I want to hear you commenting. That's what this is all about. So as consultants right now, we need to be as consultants, whatever period of your business you're in, whether you're in your first 6 weeks, or whether you're in your first 6 years, or whether you've been doing it for 10 years, we need to continually be evolving. We need to continually be looking at what's working right now, what was working, and we need to be continually changing and pivoting. I feel like I did this live almost exact, but with a different take on it a year ago, when we was going into this crazy period of COVID, not really knowing what was going to happen to our business, probably a little bit before this, a year and a bit ago. And I went into this phase of thinking, oh my God, I need to motivate everybody. I need to get everybody working. I need to get everybody believing that they can do this right now, because we are going into this period of uncertainty. And we did that. We literally went into the most phenomenal growth that we've ever had. And you guys literally went running into your businesses. And some of you are brand new, and you've only really had the COVID experience. You've never had the Scentsy experience without COVID. But you just ran with your Scentsy businesses. And we did that by evolving. We pivoted, what we called at the time, we were doing a pivot. And then now, as we're starting to come out, and I say that loosely, right? We are coming out of this situation that we're in right now. And again, we're now in a point where we've got to evolve, we've got to pivot, and we've got to change up what we're doing. Tell me right now in the chat how you feel about whether things that you were maybe doing 6 weeks ago have stopped working. Maybe things that you were doing 2 months ago that were working really well. By the way, I've got a gnat bite on my leg. I'm not sitting here like, I'm literally like, I've been bitten rotten this last week. Tell me what is there things that you were doing that just stopped working? How all of a sudden, is there some of you that are like, oh my God, like I was doing sample packs and suddenly no one wants one? Or every time I did a mystery bag, everybody wanted them and now they don't, like everybody's gone quiet. Tell me what's happening right now. Yeah, I will do. So social media has definitely gone much quiet, Nicola. Definitely agree with that. Yeah, definitely. Engagements down on social pages, customer groups are dead. Everything's quiet, everyone stopped buying, people are not spending as much, definitely. Okay, so you're definitely feeling exactly how I think generally everybody's having the same feeling. So when this happens, when we get to this point in our business where suddenly something stops working, we basically need to do a few things. We need to stop, and this is where we need to evaluate. We need to look at what did we do that worked really well, and then we need to work out, okay, why is that not working right now? and then we need to pivot. We need to change. And I'm going to give you some tips and some things you can do. Now, we need to sort of compare everything. We need to look at the good, the bad, the ugly, as they say. Yeah, the three things. The things that maybe are still working, and if they're still working, don't change them. Just keep on doing them. Okay. But the things that are not working, we need to look at why. Okay. We need to look at, is it because you're trying something once and then you go, oh, that's not working, so I'm just going to give up on that right now. Okay. Because sometimes, you know, like if I had to put my first post out about warmer of the month, and I've been telling you guys all about warmer of the month, and if you haven't seen me banging on about it, go and watch my live because it's been quite successful. My warmer of the month focus at the minute, I'm on track to sell 6 time to reflect by the end of the month, which is pretty huge, I think, in going in big warmers. And it's not because I've got a big customer group, or it's not because of any of that. It literally has been because I evaluated what wasn't working. I wasn't selling big warmers. And then I tried to come up with something that was a little bit creative with the tools that I had in front of me that allowed me to then home in and focus on those warmers. Now, if I put up that first post and I listened to the fact that I had absolutely 0 engagement, no likes, no one going, oh, well, what's your warmer of the month deal? If I had then decided, oh, I got absolutely nothing from that, I'm not going to post about it again, I wouldn't now be at nearly 6 sales for that particular warmer. It has taken in total so far, I have done 8 posts on my customer group. I have done 2 posts on my WhatsApp broadcast. And I have also done lots and lots of messaging individually to people. I think I sent 67 individual messages personally to customers to tell them about the warmer of the month. And out of those, if you think about that, that's 67 plus possibly another 10. That's out of those possibly 80 people seeing it, 6 sales, 6 positive sales. Now that's a hell of a lot for 6 sales, isn't it? But I didn't give up with just one thing. So I want you to look at what's not working. And is it because you tried something once and then you panic, so you try something else, and then you panic because no one answers, so you try something else? Because I want you to think about social media right now. I don't know about you guys, but social media right now to me is a pain in my backside. I got added to a new starters group for Artie starting school. Believe it or not, Artie starts school in September. I can't even believe I'm saying it, because I know some of you guys have literally seen him grow up on camera in the Scent Squad. Makes me a bit emotional, actually. He starts school in September. And I've been added to a group on Facebook that is literally for all the mummies, that are going to be sending off their kiddies to school, which is brilliant, because I'm like, yeah, new mummies to sell Scentsy to. Obviously, that was my first fault. But also new mummies to get to know with all the stuff that's going on for Artie's school. Hopefully they're going to keep me in check and keep me more organized, because if you see my post yesterday, I literally need someone to text me to tell me when non-uniform day is, when there's an inset day, because I'm that parent that sends my kids in on an inset day. Yep, done it a few times. You know, that is me. So I got added to that group, back to social media, sorry. And I didn't even know I'd been added to that group, because I didn't see the notification. And that I got added to that group like 4 days ago. And that's not just because I've got lots of notifications. It's also because Facebook didn't actually tell me until today. So that was nearly 4 days ago. So think of it this time. If I'm so with you, Kerry. When Kerry said every time she hears the word pivot, she thinks of Ross from Friends. Pivot, pivot, pivot. No, I'm with you. That was on the reunion as well, wasn't it? I was cracking up. So I didn't see that notification. Now, think about your customer groups like this. You post, I don't know, that we've got, I don't know, this is your 3 favorite waxes in the world right now, and no one comments on it. You feel crap about it. You go in and think, well, what's the point in that? What's the point in my customer group? And then 4 days later, someone actually likes it, comments on it, or tells you, oh, I see that post that you did. And you're like, what post? Because by then you've already given up on selling your 3 favorite wax bars. And you're like, yeah, sod that. I'm not going to bother. Social media is causing me no end of bother like that right now. And I'm sure some of you guys probably don't actually realize what's actually going on with social media, but you think that it's you that's not very good as a consultant. You think that it's you that's not posting something that's interesting enough. You think it's you that's not being consistent enough, when actually you're doing all the right things. Social media is just being what I would like to call a cock block, okay? It literally is preventing everybody from seeing all your beautiful things. So sometimes we've got to change up what we're doing. I'm not saying don't stop posting on social media, right? We are a social media. We sell on social media. But sometimes we've got to take our business away from social media, okay? We've got to take it away. So I'm going to come back to that in a moment. But on self-reflection right now, I mean, I told you about my imperfections, okay, this week. I listed all of the things. I have been doing some soul searching and some digging, okay. This week, I have been reading Girl Code, read that in a week. And in the minute, I'm just about to finish Happy Sexy Millionaire. Not going to lie, don't like him at all in the least. Think he's really arrogant. But every now and again, he has an absolute golden nugget that I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. So definitely, they're both worth a read. I think everything resonates with different people. But when I was reading this book, there was a chapter that talked about your imperfections. And that was what made me actually, or inspired me to write a post. And I had people messaging me saying, Lise, I think that is the most groundbreaking post you have ever written. And I was like, really? And that come from this book. But sometimes it's those imperfections, those things that we think that we're not very good at, that we are really hard on ourselves. Like the day that I sent Artie to preschool, let me tell you about this week. I sent Harry to school in uniform, and it should have been non-uniform. That was on the Friday. The Monday, Harry had an inset day, and I took him to school. And I let him get out of the car. He ran into school. I turned around and I thought, not many cars here. Suddenly I'm checking my phone. Shit, it's an inset day. And I then drive up to the school gates and he comes out in floods of tears. And then on the Tuesday, I took Artie to preschool and it was also an inset day. He now says every day as we drive to school, is it an inset day today? Yeah, bad mum. I then, because of my imperfections of being this disorganized mum, the fact that my life is running at 159,000 miles an hour, and I'm really hoping that I know that some of you can resonate with this. Okay, feel free to say, "Yep, that's me" in the chat if you are one of those. You might not be. You might be like the super organized mum that's got everything on a calendar. And if you are, I have my hat off literally to you, because that is not me. But I then spent a week feeling sorry for myself. I rang my mum crying. I rang Mike crying. I think I vowed to not do Scentsy anymore because I was spending too much time doing Scentsy and that I wasn't organized enough. I then vowed to go and get my diary and write everything in it that's still really blank. I remember ringing Nick Wilson and I think I poured my heart out and soul to her going, I'm such a crap mum. And she was like, you're really not. But it's exactly the same with our Scentsy business. Okay, when things don't go right with your Scentsy business, you become really hard on yourselves and you say, I'm a rubbish Scentsy consultant. I can't recruit people. I can't sell diffusers. I can't sell the body line. I am not consistent enough. Or you say, my customers are rubbish. I don't have a big enough customer base. I'm not as good as her. I'm not as good as you. Hands up if you've said at least one of those things once. I have. I've done it. Honestly, I've done it. Okay, I have been that mum. I have also been that Scentsy consultant. And I want you to know, or that dad. I've just seen Stuart's on here. Sorry, Stuart. I don't know if Stuart is somebody's wife or whether Stuart's mum or dad, whatever. So we all have imperfections that absolutely abuse our mindset. And right now, our imperfections of how our customer groups are making us feel, or how our our posts are making us feel, are definitely making us struggle a little bit and making us probably go, right, I'm just going to do this and step away. So you've got 3 choices right now, okay? 3 choices to pivot, as Ross says from Friends. You can adjust your mindset, okay? You can do a little bit of this. So you can do, if you don't read, this is a really good time to pick up a book when your business is a little bit quiet. It doesn't matter what you pick up. Work out what you need for you. And when people say to me, Lise, what should I read? I say, well, what do you need? when I first started with Scentsy, I only wanted books that were like this. I only wanted books that were going to tell me how to be the best possible network marketer in the absolute world. I had absolutely no interest about learning about success, sanity, and happiness. And I had no interest in learning about unexpected truths about fulfillment, love, and success, right? Honestly, I had none at all. I literally almost scoffed at people that read those books. Not at people, but I was a bit like, I don't have an issue with my mindset. I'm fine. And I was that person, right? I read all of these and then I realized that actually I also needed to do a bit of work on this because no one's perfect and everybody needs to work on their mindset a little bit. So Girl Code came along recently. Girl Code's all about building a culture. It's all about stopping comparing. It also talks, she does interviews with like amazing women entrepreneurs. It's all women, so sorry to the guys, but it's all women entrepreneurs. And she does interviews and they talk about like the art of comparison and what it does to you and how we want to cheerlead everybody. And honestly, this book is Scent Squad in a book, right? That is everything that I embody with Scent Squad and Scentsy is literally in a book. If you're more for one for the guys, as I say, this one is all about those reasons. Honestly, I'm not going to talk to you all about personal development, but it's something really seriously think about doing while your business is a little bit quiet. I literally am picking up a book 10 minutes every morning before I pick up my phone. It has changed my whole day. The days that I pick up my phone first, not a good day. Don't have a good day. But anyway, you've got 3 choices. You can be, number 1, the person that says, right, I'm done. I'm done with this Scentsy rubbish because, let's be honest, I can't sell anything. No one in my customer group wants to know. You can be that person. You could be person number 2 that says, it's my customer's fault. It's my team's fault. It's Boris's fault. I thought that might make some of you smile. It's my husband's fault. He doesn't let me do this. It's my kids' fault. They don't give me enough time. You literally can be one of those people. I've been one of those people, right? Or you can be the person that decides to evolve and the person that decides that I'm not going to give up, and you can be the person that's going to take responsibility. So I am going to quote something from this book. The guy that I think is arrogant, one of the things he says is on one of his chapters, so this chapter, which was the chapter that literally resonated, was, I am just as unmotivated as you are, but here's the difference. And honestly, when he wrote, let me be honest for a second, I'm disorganized, I don't like getting out of bed, and all the stuff he said, I was like, oh my God, he's literally talking about me. But he said, hold on. Based on the assumption that my success is a consequence of unwavering motivation, I'm often asked, how do you stay motivated all the time? The answer I give is, you've probably guessed, I don't. Nobody is motivated all the time. I'm certainly not motivated to do a lot of the things I have to do. Motivation is a poorly described concept that has been largely defined by those with an incentive to depict in a certain way, to simplify, it just clicks, or to distort it for the respect. Here is pretty much everything I know about the true nature of motivation. He then goes on to talk about like intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, the difference of the two. But he says this: things that you will regret, allowing your potential to remain trapped behind a stranger's opinions. We've all been that person that has let somebody else's opinions stop us from doing great things. We've all had that friend that has told us, why do you want to be a fish? Well, I want to be a fish. Why? Well, but why? Why do you want to be a fish? In other words, like, why do you want to be a Scentsy consultant? Like, why? Why don't you just get a normal job? We've all had that friend, right? I definitely have. Spending more time thinking about the past and living in the moment. Well, we've all thought about, well, we were in the pandemic, my business was really, really busy. Well, yeah, it was, but we're not in that pandemic anymore. Things are changing. We need to evolve. Okay. Time spent with people that don't do the best for you. Hands up if you've spent time with somebody that literally brings you down, makes you feel crap, and actually doesn't do the best for you. Me, I've done it. Neglecting family. I'd like to say that I don't, but definitely I am that mum sometimes that says, wait a minute. But then this one, never taking risks. Okay. And that's really what we're going to talk about tonight, about how we're going to pivot by taking risks. So that's my mindset bit. You need to decide, are you person number 1, 2, or 3? I'm definitely going to be number 3 right now. That said 2, but I'm going to be 3 right now. And we're going to take a bit of responsibility. We're going to take responsibility for the fact that if something's not working in our business, it's not anybody else's fault but ours, in a way that's not going to affect our mindset. Okay, so let's look at what's not working. I asked my directors today, tell me things that you're hearing and not working in your business. I am going to talk about the problem, but I'm going to give you a solution. And hopefully the solutions might be things that you can try in your business. So, number 1, there are less people on social media. True that. Absolutely true. There are less people scrolling Instagram. There's less people watching my stories. I normally get between 400 to 500 views on my stories. I haven't been posting on my stories as much, but I'm probably down to 200 to 300 at the moment. That means that there's less people scrolling on Instagram. There's less people scrolling on Facebook. There's less people scrolling TikTok, believe it or not. Why? Because the sun is shining, because the world's opening up a little bit. People can go and do other things, all of those things. Is that a problem? No, it's not. Okay. Less people are watching on stories. So when I started talking about taking your business off social media, I want you to make sure right now in this quiet period that you get a system together for if social media dies tomorrow, that you literally can pick your business up and you can keep working it. So if you use Facebook Messenger, stop. This is the time to go and gather text numbers from your customers. A really, really simple way to follow up with your customers is to message them and say, hey, I'm moving my business onto WhatsApp and onto text message. Could I please have your mobile number? And I did that with somebody today, and then she ordered 3 bars off the back of it. It was a really simple way to follow up with people without asking them for orders. Really, really simple. But you need to make sure that if Facebook dies tomorrow, that your business isn't going to go with it. Literally as simple as that. I am telling you this right now because do you remember it was a little while ago that Messenger basically died for the whole day? And I reinstalled the app something like 11 times that day because I was certain it was a problem with my phone before I Googled and realized that I think Facebook had gone down and so had Messenger. And I was like in this whole panic, anxious mode of like, oh my God, like how do I work my business when I can't get on social media? While things are a little bit quiet, start to think about how you're going to build your business off of social media, because what you can do is marry the two together and you will get the perfect network marketing business. So I ask you to think about partying. Now, I know that some of you are going to go, well, my customers don't want to party. That's not a problem. Have you asked every single customer if they want to party? Every single customer that you've got. If you've got 10, have you asked every single one of them, do you want to party? If it's not working by text message, voice note them, pick up the phone, ring them, ask them face to face. They can't say no. They find it really hard to say no when you actually ask them face to face. Trust me on that. Or worst case scenario, if every single customer has said no, host your own. Have a garden party. You can have 30 people to a garden party. My biggest party was 28 people. My most successful parties have been 6 people. And you can have 6 people indoors right now. So 6 people, party of 6. You can have 6 in a garden, right? You can have 30 in a garden, can't you? Yes, no? Tell me if I've got the rules right. If you can have 30 in a garden, have 30 in your garden. Invite them to yours, to your garden. If you're quite happy to have a few more people in your house, that I'm not saying that, I'm not really supposed to say that, but do it, you know, host your own if you can't get your customers to. Yeah, me too, Claire, I've completely lost track. So if less people are on social media, get off social media, text people, message people, investigate email with your customers, investigate other ways of contacting your customers, and investigate other ways of finding new customers off of social media. Okay, don't let less people being on social media be your excuse. That is a truth bomb. Be your excuse, because I've done it. I've sat there and gone, well, no one's answering, no one's looking. Okay, so don't let that be an excuse. Okay, excuse number 2, or myth number 2, or problem number 2. People are warming less wax in the summer. Who's finding that their customers are warming less wax? I know I keep coming in my office and I'm finding things that have melted and I'm like, oh, I need to put the air conditioning on. How many of you have had a melted wax bar on your side and have had to maybe rescue your bars? These 3 went in my fridge. This one, as you can see, was a bit melty over here. So if you're selling a little bit less wax, okay, that's okay. We sell loads of other products. The answer really simply is switch your customers to pods, okay? So really, really easy. Get yourself a wall fan diffuser. Get yourself a mini fan diffuser. Get yourself a packet of pods. Get yourself, this is me grabbing a few things because I wasn't quite as organised, testers, and get yourself a Scentsy Go. 2 seconds. Just going to grab one. Don't think I've got one. I will grab one. But find something pretty to put all of this in a, like, maybe look for like a clear A4 plastic zip up envelope. You can get them on Amazon, like a zip up pouch. Put it all in the pouch and get these out working for you. Samples need to be all the samples that we do pods in. Now, if you're finding that these are melting or you're worried about giving these out for melting, get yourself some felt samples. They don't have to be from Scentsy. Really simple. You get all of the waxes that basically we sell pods in. You get a little baggie. I had one here. It's disappeared. A little baggie. Put it in there with a tiny bit of the wax. Don't do anything else with it. Leave them out in the sun. Let them melt onto the felt, and then boom, you've got pod samples. Really simple on felt. It doesn't really matter then if they melt because you've got this. You can also, oh, I did this one. I did this in the squad. You can also just put one of these in with a wax sample, and then just maybe put a sticker on the outside labeled, and it doesn't matter whether you handwrite them on or whatever. Put that all in a bag and then give it to your best customers. Don't ask them, give it to them. Include in there a catalogue. Oh, dog's just gone out. Include in there a catalogue, include in there maybe a order form, and include in there a product sheet, and literally give them out. Give them to your customers. If you've got a couple of these laying around at home, maybe you use these all the time, unplug them all, dish them out to your customers with samples. I've seen some pictures of pods melting if we leave pods in the mini fan in the car. Very unlikely unless it's like 120 odd degree heat, really unlikely in our country. Yes, maybe if we were in Texas or somewhere like that, it gets a lot hotter out there. But I know that my fan and my pods have been in my car for all of the hot weather we've had so far, and I've had no melt issues. So, but definitely remind your customers, maybe get them to give it a go on their laptops, but switch your customers over to pods, okay? Switch your customers. Yeah, just tell them not to put it on the dashboard. Simple as that. Put it in, like, make sure it goes in their cup holder, or don't put it in their car for now because it's hot. Tell them to put it in their laptops. But, or if you're worried about that, don't give them a mini fan. Leave that out. Give them everything else. But you want to get your customers onto these for the reason the wax is, yes, melting right now. Pods are not. Okay, give them samples of our strongest pods: coconut, lemongrass, windowsill breeze, clothesline. They're going to still smell those. They're still going to get the impact from those in a room, but they're not going to have the melting issue. You're not going to have the melting issue because you literally can carry 10 pod parties around with you. Now, what's really clever is you can give out these and say, pass that on to a friend, because you don't need to stock it back up, because all they're going to do is smell the pods. All they're going to do is smell the samples. You don't need to restock it back up. Maybe you might need to every now and again with pods, if you're going to give them a couple of pods to try. But honestly, I would be like, that pod should be lasting, like, unless they're leaving them on for like, you're leaving it with them for like 10 days, honestly. So get your pod parties working. And if you've never done a pod party, do it. This month, my challenge to you is to do it, because as soon as someone says, oh, I'm not warming wax because I've got my windows open. Oh, you need pods. You need pods then, because you can still get really good scent. And actually, you're not going to waste it. They're going to last longer as well. And actually, you're getting more for your money. You turn all the sales techniques on them, okay? Turn all the sales techniques on them. Remember, we are the only people that sell Scentsy pods. They cannot buy them anywhere else. They've got to come back to you or Scentsy or a Scentsy consultant to buy more pods. It is as simple as that. Now's a really good time as well to follow up with all your pod customers. Anyone that's ever bought a Scentsy Go, I tell all my customers, you need a Scentsy Go for in the summer, for outside your house, in the middle of your garden while you're having a barbecue. Like, that is a must. Start advertising that. Start doing, you know, showing those pictures. Start using your Scentsy Goes. If you don't have one, treat yourself to one, because I promise you it will be an investment. Okay. So remember as well, as soon as people are warming less wax, that's okay. You change it up. You start using washer whiffs 5 times a day. You start using the laundry liquid 5 times a day. Start using the hand cream more, saying to people, oh, you know, with all this sun, it's drying out my hands. Let's use a bit of hand cream. Use the body products when you've had a day in the sun. Remind people, I'm using the bath soap because I've burnt today, or I want my skin to feel soft. You literally have got to give people the reason to buy something else that is not wax and warmers. Now, here's the next one. It actually links to this one. So don't assume that your customers, when you've got a customer that you, actually, I'll come back to that actually. So we've got less people on social media. More people are at work, so they're using less wax. How many people have said, oh, I'm going back to work now, so actually I'm not putting my warmers on at home? Number one, you need your warmers on at home so your house doesn't smell like house when you get home. None of us want that. Number two, okay, not a problem. Let me get you a Borough basket to take into the office for work. Let's get you some free wax. It's a no-brainer. Find out who's gone back to work. Find out, do a poll on your customer groups and say, who's gone back to work, who's actually in an office and is in normality. And then you'll get all these people going, yes, no, yes, 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 no, no, no. And then all the people that say yes, message them. Say, I'm so pleased you've gone back to work. Would you like to celebrate with taking an office Borough bag into work? You could put a warmer in the office for a week if you like. I'll let you borrow one of my warmers. No brainer. Any orders you get, you're going to get all the freebies. Get your office parties going, okay? If people are going back to work, then you've got to get people that they're working with. Let's tap into their networks and get that working for you. Borough bags, pouch parties. My Borough bags are both sitting in my house, so I need to get them out. Okay, people are not home. They're socializing more. They've got hair appointments and brow appointments and lash appointments and all that jazz. Okay, so hands up if you have got, or just say yes in the chat, if you have got warmers at home sitting on your shelves, like behind me, that are in boxes that you've got that are not doing anything. Maybe you've got warmers that you've used and you've put them back on a shelf and you've just tucked it away. Might get that out on another day. Say yes if you've got one. Yep, yep, yep. Adele has, Michelle has, Sarah has. Right, okay. I'm going to tell you what to do with them today. You're going to put your big brave girl pants on, and next time you go to your hair salon to get your hair done, you are going to say to them, you're going to take with you a warmer of your that's in your cupboard that's collecting dust right now, and you're going to put it in a bag, and you're going to give them some wax, and you're going to take some catalogues. But here's the important bit. You are going to leave a clipboard with somewhere that they can write their details down if they comment on it and they like it, or a box where they can put in their information, like their details. They actually sell them on the Success Store. I think it's called a loading box or something like that. If it's not your hair, if it's your eyebrows, or you're going to get the kids' haircut with a barber, or you're going to the doctor's, or you're going to the dentist, or if you have this book, thank you, Georgie, for reminding me. I will screenshot these again and put them in. I did a live on this, and I will get Georgie to, because she grabbed it for me. But this book has a list of all different places that you potentially could take a warmer and wax. So I'll just read you a couple. Local retailers, your local lollipop lady, who's given her some warmers and wax before. It's literally got a list of all different people. Massage therapists, if any of you booked a massage. Spa, are you going on a spa day? Take a warmer with you. Opticians, do you have a relationship? Now, if you don't have relationships with these people, you need to build relationships with them. But maybe next time you go into your opticians to get your eyes checked, just say, look, I'm a Scentsy consultant. Don't know if you've heard of it. I would love to bring you in a Scentsy warmer in here. Some free wax. What do you think? See what they say. You need to get your warmers working for you. They're no good sitting on a shelf. We've all got them. I've got warmers in here. But when I go and have my eyelashes done, so my eyelash lady said to me today, Oh, I've put in, she said, pineapple, coconut, vanilla, and lemon sorbet. They have got, I gave them a Illuminate, and every now and again, I just give them a couple of wax bars, and they then give me a discount quite often. And what they do for me is they give out my cards to anybody that says, oh, I haven't got a Scentsy consultant. There aren't many, and then they share me on their stories every now and again. Just by getting somebody, if you've got somebody that you go to that does your toes, or your chiropodist, or your chiropractor, and it's the same person that you're seeing over and over again. I know Tanya Allwood, my sister-in-law, is having PT at the moment with her PT. Yeah, Helen, in that nail shop, you should also see a mini pearl warmer. It's in there. My sister-in-law is having PT, and she's got a warmer in there and wax, and she had £100 order from her PT the other day. So it's things like this. You need to get your warmers working for you. If the world is opening up, so can your Scentsy business. If you don't want to party, then be brave. Go and ask some businesses, but it's people that you've built that relationship with. Oh, Helen, I've tried to get them to change it. I'm going to change it when I go in there next, actually. Okay, so what else did I write down? Okay, I'm not turning my warmer on as much. Sell them other products. It's time for you guys, it's time to go and learn about diffusers, for example. If you've never sold one, go and learn about one. Go and learn about our diffusers. There's a really good live in the Scent Squad that will teach you everything you need to know about our diffusers. Okay, now this is the one. This is the one. Don't assume that your customers won't buy it. I have heard so many times, and I've even said it myself, my customers don't buy the body line, for example, or my customers don't buy buddies. If you assume that your customers won't buy it and then you don't advertise it, they won't buy it, or they will buy it from someone else. Simple as that. Okay. And that's a really hard thing to say. And I know that you might have the odd customer that you put maybe, I don't know, a body line in their mystery bag, and they say, I don't want body line. It happens. Okay. It does happen. But 90% of your customers will probably, with a mystery bag, take whatever they're given and never complain to you. And if you say, my customers won't buy that because you're making their mind up for them, it's a bit like saying, my customers won't join my Scentsy business. If you've never asked them, you're never going to know. So how many of you have said, my customers wouldn't part with the money for a diffuser? And then you've never advertised a diffuser because you think that your customers won't part with the money. I did it for a really long time. Time to reflect. How many times do you reckon I've advertised a time to reflect in the last 6 months? Probably about 3 times. I've advertised it 8 times in a month. Or nearly 80 actually. And I've got 6 sales. Whatever you flip your focus to, your customers will see, if you like. They're more likely to be intrigued and they're more likely to buy into that. So do not assume that your customers won't buy it. Advertise it anyway. If you're not using it, they won't buy it. That is true. That is true. Okay, so flip your focus. Flip your focus. Now, okay, the next thing, you need to start to sell the experience. More than anything, and this is really, really important, I think, you need to sell the experience. Recently, I was told it was too overwhelming to have so many things in the basket. Definitely, you literally just sometimes need to focus on just a few things, Eva. A few things. That focus can actually change everything. So flip your focus. Start to sell the experience to people, okay? What impact is that product having on your business? What impact is that product having on your life right now? And when you start to share the experience a little bit more, the experience it's having, whether that's on social media, whether that's with your customers, whether you're voice noting all of your customers on going, oh my God, you've got to have this. You need to make it an experience. When you go live sometimes, like if your customer groups are really quiet, get on there and go live at 9 o'clock at night. I don't know why. It seems to be a time when everybody seems to be available at the moment and seems to be on social media. If they're on it, it's for me, 9 o'clock seems to be like a golden time to go live. So when I finish this training, I'll probably jump on and do a live in my customer group. That was when, the time to reflect really, really sold for me, for example. But get on and go back and watch some of your lives, which I know some of you will be like, I don't watch my lives. And I found some of the lives where I have been very monotone, very quiet, or not very excited. Obviously, people literally come on and they leave. Whereas if I'm like this and I'm like, oh my God, you need this product right now, this Apple Blossom Breeze wax is going to change your life, you're going to buy it, because all of a sudden you're like, that girl is absolutely crazy and she absolutely loves that wax. Clearly, I need that wax in my life, or clearly I need those washer whiffs. But sometimes you've got to give them that. When I watch Jessie Lee Wald, she makes me like go, oh my God, I literally get off and I have fire in here because of the way she makes me feel when she's live. I literally get off live and I go, I need to go and sell some Scentsy. I need to go and sell some frigging Scentsy, because that's what she does to me. But it's to do with her going from here to here. She gets excited, she flips the switch, she gets me excited. So if you've never sold a diffuser, go learn about a diffuser, go make notes, go do post-it notes, flip your focus on that for like 2 weeks in your customer groups, on your stories, everywhere you go, in your WhatsApp broadcast, everything, everywhere you go, even do a special on it if you want to. Make that your focus, that product your focus, and get excited about that product. Give someone the experience about why they need that in their lives. And I promise you, it will change things. Things will change up. Look at using more channels. Email. How many of you use email? I've started to use email with my customers. Someone actually asked to be removed from my mailing list. I'm not going to lie. But that happens. Okay, that happens. And in the day and age we are in, people are allowed to opt out. People are allowed to, say they don't want to receive that. Not a problem. That's fine. WhatsApp broadcast, obviously. WhatsApp, individual messages, text messages. Yes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. Try and, work out what's working for you. Don't come away from social media altogether. I'm not saying stop using social media, but what I am saying is look at building your business off of social media. And then a few more things just to finish with. Use the quiet time. If you're really quiet and you get your 500 and you're happy and your team are doing good and things are a little bit quieter, use this time to go and rebrand yourself. Last summer, I went and bought a logo. I decided that I wanted to create some new systems, if you can call them that, because I don't really have a lot of systems. I built an office last summer because I wanted a backdrop for when I do my live trainings and my lives in my customer group, for example. I went and I started doing bingo parties. I tried new things. This is an opportunity that while it's quieter, go and, get yourself organized, get ready for the new season that is going to be coming. Don't stop working your business. Don't start saying, oh, I'm not doing any more orders now until July or until the new season or whatever. But, use this time to try a few new things, and it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work, but it's okay to get out there and try a few different things. Right now, and hopefully some of my team are realizing, so my director team, not my big group, just the team I'm director for, I'm trying a few new things. Like I've set up a WhatsApp group for my director team, which I haven't had a WhatsApp group since probably when I very first started selling Scentsy. So just trying to get that buzz back with them. These are times when it goes a little bit quiet that we evaluate, we evolve, and we get excited all over again, and we try new things. So think about the E's, okay? Evaluate what's going on in your business right now. Make some exchanges, as Ellis said, make some changes that are going to work in your business, and then evolve with it and try something new. Don't be stuck in pandemic times going, but that worked for me then. Why is it not working now? You've got to flip the switch and you've got to change with it. Most importantly, the last things I want to leave you with is I don't want you to give up. Just because something's not working doesn't mean that you can just go, do you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to be like, no, I can't do this. We've all had months where it's a little bit quieter. We've all had months where things are challenging. Right now, we are having to work for our PRV. We are having to graft. 6 months ago, PRV came easy to me. Right now, I'm now having to plan, and I'm having to think a little bit more about where PRV is coming from. I'm in your boat. I'm in your same boat. But I'm also going to make it happen. I'm also going to make the PRV come back to me. I am going to take action. And it's all well and good reading these amazing books or watching these trainings. It's then about what you choose to do with it this month, not next month, what you choose to do with it this month. It's that action that you need to take that is really going to change your business. If something doesn't work once for you, for me, I would love you to try it 10 times before you try something else. Because I promise you, even if you do a Facebook party and it all goes wrong, or I know people that have said to me, I've had parties already and they were a flop. Not every party that I did was an absolute overnight success. Rome wasn't built in a day. And sometimes we have just got to keep going and keep trying and keep plugging. And I think Kirsty hit the nail on my head in the director's chat today. She said, we've just got to keep being consistent. And that consistency is going to be what's going to be paying off at the end of the day. That consistency, not giving up, that action that you're taking, I promise you, you might not get the results right now, but whatever you're putting into practice now, you're sowing lots of seeds. And when those busy months come, like September, October, November, December, because they're coming, baby. And when that new season launches, and when all those new warmers come and all that new wax comes that you've got to get excited about, I promise you that when November comes this year, you're going to go, Lise, I'm like on a freaking roller coaster again, and it's not slowing down, and I'm scared, and it's crazy, and I haven't got time to do my branding, I haven't got time to do all the things, and I haven't got time to do all the parties, because it's going to run at 180 miles per hour, and you're going to be so buzzing, honestly, so buzzing. We have quiet months, and the J months in Scentsy are typically quieter. So use them to your advantage. Use them to try new things. Use them to flip the script. Use them to pivot. Use them to do self-development. Go and work out. And more importantly, go and evaluate. So evaluate what needs to change. Go and write it down like I do. I literally, this book, okay, I was telling Georgie about this week. I have loads of these. And this is my only system that I have, right? Really in this business that works for me, is that I literally have, as you can see, everything written in here. Now, when I want to, so I can go through this with you and go, look, so this was simple steps training that I was doing here. Notes that I made on when I read The Compound Effect, for example. I know that this book is Nicola Wilson on here. This will give you anxiety because it's literally got like things to do lists in here and all sorts. I know you're more organized than me, but creating culture, for example, that's in here. Now I've got lists of people that I was doing referrals with. Workstation training. This is what I call it a journal, and it's a bit like a journal of my Scentsy business. So focus groups, people that I want to work with. So this is my only system, is that I literally brain dump everything onto a page and then I make it work. So when I want to evaluate where I am right now, I would say right now, go and do yourself a spider diagram, go and do yourself, get a blank piece of paper, sit down and just write it down and get everything out of your head onto paper of where you think, all of the things that you think are wrong in your business right now. Okay, this is what I want you to do. And then I want you to make an action plan. I want you to just take 3 of those things. Eat That Frog Style. If you've not read it, it's another good book. Eat That Frog. Take the 3 hardest things, and I want you just to work on those things and see how you can evolve those things, how you can change those things. What can I do? And as soon as you hear your team or yourself saying, oh, but customers aren't buying as much wax because it's warm, come back to this live, remember what my solution was, and implement the solution as best you can until you hit a dead end. And then when you hit a dead end, then by all means, come back to me and go, Lise, I'm at a dead end. What do I do? What do I do? Has anyone got any questions? The chat is open, or you're welcome to unmute and ask me any questions. I really hope that this has given you food for thought, resonated a little bit. If I resonated with one person and one person says to me, yep, Lise, do you know what? That is exactly what I needed right now, then I have done my job. Loved it. It's just what I needed. Good. Thank you, Stuart. Lovely. Honestly, any questions? I want you to go away. I am gonna create, I'll do it later on tonight, an action plan form that you guys can actually fill in, and I think it will help you to have something that you can actually fill in, that's really simple, And I will go live in the squad and talk and share it tomorrow, and I will share it in the group for you. So I'm actually doing good so far this month, so I want to say that. Amazing. I love that. Nicola, you can share all your ideas. Lovely. Doesn't look like there's any questions. Okay. Really helpful. I love it. Right, okay, there's I love it, I love it, I love it. Look, free moisture medleys. Whoop, whoop, go Becky, that is amazing. Okay, so thank you all so much. I will get this uploaded in the Scent Squad, and hopefully this has given you a few things to think about. And thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. I love you all, and I will see you all soon. Mwah, mwah to you all. Bye.